Ken Patera shoots on golfing with road warrior animal Jim Brunzell, and as we see here, Curt Hennig, during his WWF stint, of course, he had the vignettes where he's playing basketball, football, and of course golfing. And according to Ken Patera, even though Curt Hennig was drinking, pilled up, he managed to beat them all in golf. Then after Curt Hennig, Vince McMahon is brought up, and of course the infamous incident at the McDonald's, which of course Ken Patera completely flips out on Gabe Sapolsky. Let's get right to it.
And he was drinking till 3, 4 in the morning, you know. Curt could pound him pretty good, you know. I saw him one day, we played golf. Jimmy Brunzell and I played Joe Laurinaitis, who was Animal of the Road Warriors.
Yep.
So Brunzell and I, the two old timers, played Animal and Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. And we went to the golf course there outside of Minneapolis, or outside St. Paul. Beautiful golf course, beautiful day and everything. Those guys show up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Curt gets out of his Lincoln smoking a doobie. I said, Curt, is that a marijuana cigarette? You know, I never liked marijuana. I tried it a couple times, 1965 or something, 40 years ago. But he gets out smoking, this is about 10 years ago, he gets out smoking a marijuana cigarette, drinking a fucking beer. I'm standing there with Brunzell, we got coffee. 7 o'clock in the morning, for Christ's sakes. So Joe pulls in, he gets out, and Joe, he drank a little beer, but that's about all. Like his main vice was steroids. I don't know if he ever did hard drugs. I don't think he did. He might have, but Curt was into everything. And so the front nine, Curt's beating the shit out of all three of us, knocking the ball 300 yards off the tee and putting the eyes out of the cup. And unbelievable. He was like 4 or 5 under. And he had a beer on every hole, so he had 9 beers, and he had 4 or 5 before he got to the golf course at 7 in the morning, and he had smoked another joint, and he popped at least 6 of those pain pills, Vicodins, because he asked me if I wanted a couple Vicodins. So I said, not this early in the day. And by the back 9, by now, so I think we teed off at 7:30, so now it's 10 o'clock, and I said, well, give me a couple of those Vicodins. The girl in the beverage cart, she came around, I bought everybody a couple beers, and then we teed off the back 9. Curt drank another 9 beers. Now he's got a case of beer in him, about 6, 8 Vicodins, 3, 4 doobies, and he shoots like 2 over par. Shot a 74. I think the rest of us were in the 90s. I said, Curt, what would you have shot if you would have been straight today? He said, probably what you guys shot. Well, he's a young guy. He left a wife and 3 kids. So, when he left the WWF, I think he went to the WCW, and things didn't really work out for him down there, although he made a ton of money. He had a guaranteed contract of, $750,000 or $850,000 a year for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
He made a ton of money here. He came in when Ultimate Warrior took off on McMahon, so he called Curt, brought Curt in, stuck him in Ultimate Warrior's slot. Made him a ton of money, but so who's responsible?
Yeah.
If a promoter's going to let all these guys become drug addicts under his watch, fuck it. If you're responsible, Vince, you ought to clean your fucking bullshit up over there at the zoo, or the funny farm, or whatever the wrestlers call it now.
Well, we're on the subject of controversial things. This is something that I was going to ask about when you were arrested for what happened at the McDonald's.
I don't. Fuck you. I don't want to talk about that shit. You want me to choke you out now or later, you cocksucker? I don't talk about that bullshit. We have plenty to talk about. Fuck about that bullshit about me. It was all set up and everything anyway. I spent 2 years of my life in that fucking stinky old prison, and that was under McMahon's watch. I was wrestling for him when all that shit went down. Fuck it. Let's move on.
All right.
Cocksucker.
Let's cut the tape. What do you remember?
Hey, just let's before we don't be asking me anything about that fucking bullshit that back in the '80s or whenever about McDonald's. Okay, let's just move on.